What is good, everybody? We have now seen our first bit of Halo Infinite gameplay. This morning, a 7 or 8 minute long campaign gameplay reveal trailer went live. Today, we're going to look through it. I do suggest watching this on 4K. I'm going to highlight what stood out to me, what I like, some concerns, and then I really want to hear from you guys what you thought of this so far. So, Infinite gameplay, we see the pilot and the chief in an opening cutscene here. Very crispy, nice style. I think the cutscenes look absolutely amazing. But the first thing that stands out to me is the art style and the direction. And while I like elements of it, I have some concerns. It's why I've actually recorded this video 2 or 3 times now, because the more I keep watching this, there's bits of this I really like and bits of it that I'm slightly concerned about. Now, opening here, this is a very cool moment. It reminds me of Halo CE Mission 2, stepping out onto the ring, looking around. Got some birds that show up here, and we definitely see a big emphasis on a larger playing space. That's indicated throughout this gameplay trailer. The art style itself is quite reminiscent of Halo 3 in some aspects. Simpler shapes, brighter colors, but I have some concerns about these more simplistic shapes. And the first moment that really stands out is right here. The banished ship that you see flying overhead. It does kind of look like the Twitter memes, the Mega Bloks style. And you'll see throughout there is definitely, I think, a stylistic choice to go with this simpler, I don't want to say flat light, but there's something off about the way the shadows look to me, to where it does create a stylized, unique look, but I don't know how it lands. Like, the more I'm watching it, the more I'm not ultimately super hyped. And we also see here in just a moment, Sprint is in Halo Infinite. The first minute got me really excited, then boom, he hops into the Sprint to get into the Warthog. You guys know me, I'm a classic Halo fan. I really was hopeful we were going to see the next Halo kind of skipping Sprint, but it is 2020. So I also was sort of expecting it to be there, right? More birds. And we get the chance here to look at the TAC map, which I'm going to pause on just for a second. The opening cutscene has dialogue between the pilot and Chief talking about these 3 gun batteries that Chief needs to take down. You can see those 1, 2, 3 here on the map. And you can see from this overhead map and from what they emphasize in this gameplay trailer, I think it's going to be a more open Halo title. I don't think it's going to be your traditional Halo campaign. I'm excited about that. I'm going to press play again, but I also have some concerns. Open world is very cool, but sometimes it's hard to nail linear, curated, really tight experiences in that more open world environment. When you give players a lot of choice, sometimes it's harder to nail those ultra tight, super polished, curated things. I think they'll probably be able to do it, but it's just an element of concern that I have. Love seeing the Warthog just fly over here. The Hog does look really good, and some of the sunset lighting looks great. Chief blasting over stuff. We get a lot of looks at different weapons in the sandbox. I think that's sort of the biggest standout to me. We see a pistol coming back. Kind of wish it would have been more Halo CE and less Halo 5 looking in terms of the pistol. But right here, I want to pause. Look at the lack of shadows on the Elite here. Again, I have to believe that this is a stylistic choice and not a hardware thing. But something feels off. Like, if there's this really bright sunset, shouldn't light rays just be blasting through this building and kind of cascading off of him like giant long shadows? Don't get me wrong, Halo 4 and Halo 5's super sharp, ultra detailed style is not my favorite, but I don't know, something is unique. It's a pretty game, but I don't know if I like the art style fully. Drop pod banished, drop down. I love this section. This is probably the point of the trailer that I lost it. The charge with the brute there, sick. And did he just stagger him by shooting his leg? Like, do we have the option to do that? Now, Chief throws a drop shield right here. Did you see that? It looked straight out of Halo 3. And then next, we get to see the bit that a lot of people were talking about Twitter on earlier this week. Here comes the grapple shot. Grapple hooks are in Infinite, dude. And we see it multiple times throughout this trailer. I think Chief picks up, you can see the weapon name. I believe it's Ravager, right? He picks up the Ravager here after coming in, sticking the nade. Yeah, pick up Ravager. It's a new weapon and does a ton of like what looks like knockback and concussive damage or just explosive AoE type stuff. This is also another wow moment to me in the trailer where you look across the whole giant world, and I'm assuming from the TAC map and what we saw that this is the emphasis that they really want to show here, that the play space is big and it's a different kind of campaign, dude. I really like this moment. Notice how the sun is starting to go down. Will we have active time within the game? That would be kind of cool. I don't know. Plenty of questions. Here we get another glimpse. It looks like the Halo Wars 2 ship, which in some ways is cool. But in other ways, I don't know if I like that ultra simplistic, super blocky style. It feels so different. Flying Grunt is pretty sick. I've mentioned before, oh, Clamber. Yeah, Clamber's in the game as well. I've mentioned before how I really like Halo Wars 2, and I felt like that game nailed what a Halo game should feel like. And I've always talked about, man, it'd be rad to play a boots on the ground version of Halo Wars 2. This to me looks like it with a lot of those more simplistic shapes and just seeing the dropship there. Does it play though with people? You guys got to let me know what you think about it down in the comments below. And then we see another new weapon. Seriously, the amount of weapons in the trailer is pretty cool. Like lots of new stuff. One further concern that stood out to me was just sort of how the enemies are standing still. I know with these trailers, they're always trying to show off like the sandbox. By the way, look at that. Picks up a fusion coil, throws it. That's sick. That is sick, okay? If you have a grapple hook in Halo, that's gotta be like the 200 IQ play right there, bro. Love it. Hops in the turret. We see some cool, just explosive effects here, but the enemies sort of just stand around. And I'm hoping that maybe it's a low difficulty just for the gameplay trailer, but I do have some concerns about the way it seems that Chief is just sort of walking up and shooting static targets and sticking everybody. There is something really cool here too with the grapple shot coming up. New looking shotgun thing also looks rad. Yeah, watch the elite right here. So he looks at him, steps back, grapples in, smacks him. That's pretty hype. That's pretty much the end of the gameplay trailer that we got to see today. Chief goes up, pushes the button like Halo 4, and we get a glimpse at what I'm assuming is the new Halo Infinite Pro or antagonist, and that wraps things up. I want to know what you guys think about this in the comments down below. Let me know sort of the vibes that you're getting with this overall. Yeah, I'm pretty darn excited. I'm a little bummed about Sprint. I'm very conflicted right now on the art design. Not on the cutscenes. When you see shots like these, the cutscenes look absolutely fantastic, but some of the ultra simple shapes, there's maybe just something off with the way the lighting is interacting with stuff, shadows, I don't know. It's not a bad looking game, it's just not really what I had ultimately expected, especially with the cutscene that we saw last year. Overall, quite excited. I could definitely go for a shift in Halo campaigns if it's a more open focus. Cool, man. So long as they can still nail great curated moments, I'm all for it. What do you guys think about it? If you want to share your comments, let me know about it. We'll talk about it very soon. I said about like 1,000 times there. So subscribe to the channel if you guys enjoyed. Follow me on Twitter. Have a great rest of your day. And I will see you again next time.